Chalo. So now we resume the study. Scene second, Act 4. What happens next? That now it is clear that Mr. Beverly and Captain Absolute are the same person. In that manner, Lydia Languis has been deceived by her own lover, Mr. Beverly. Father has also been deceived that once he talked that he is surrendering himself, he is sacrificing for the sake of his father's wishes. So that's why in that fashion he was also deceived. Mrs. Malaprop is also deceived because once he has completed so many things in the letter that he has written to his lover Lydia Languis, in which he has also shown him her sea dragon, no, a spirit. He has also commented over her language, her knowledge. So now everybody was angry, but still then the fact is that they are parents and their priority is the happiness of their children. So that's why Father Sir Anthony Absolute is ready to forgive him and he is ready to accept this marriage. Even then, he has been deceived. What about Mrs. Malaprop now? Now she thinks, she further tells, well, Sir Anthony, since you desire it means, it means you are ready to accept this marriage. We will not anticipate the past. So mind young people, our retrospection will now be all to the future. Although I have also been deceived by your son, but still I am ready to forgive him because this is his past. The present is that he is ready to accept her. If the marriage is solemnized, they will be happy. This is our priority, that children should be happy anyway. So she is also ready to accept him. Now, what about? Now they are thinking that now we should leave them together alone so that they may converse to each other. Come, we must leave them together, Mrs. Malaprop. They long to fly into each other's arms. I warrant, Jack isn't the cheek as I said, hey, and I, you row and leap, hey. Come, Mrs. Malaprop, we will not disturb their tenderness. Theirs is the time of life for happiness. Youth's the season made for joy. Na? He starts singing a song based on this theme. That because now he is aware that they are both lover and beloved, so they might be uh, impatient to embrace them all. So now they are leaving the site thinking that they would converse to each other and they would fix their plan. So singing, the parents left their side. Now further he says, Oats life, I am in such a spirits, I don't know what I couldn't do. Permit me, ma'am. Malaprop, tolerable gad, I should like a little fooling myself. Tolerable, they roll. So now they part with them. They are allowed to talk to each other, to embrace each other, because they all know that they are lover and beloved, absolute. Now he might be very sorry that he has deceived his own lover, beloved Lydia Languis. So he says, so much thought bodes me no good. So grave Lydia, why are you thoughtful? Are you angry? Aside, so egad, I thought, sir, what does it mean? She is quite submissive because she has been deceived. She was not expecting such a deceit from her lover, Mr. Beverly. So that's why she is silent, speaking in very curt aside. So egad, I thought as mad that down monosyllable has froze me. What, Lydia? Now what that we are as happy in our friends' consent as in our mutual woes? Because the result is now in our favor. We were loving each other, but our parents were not ready. Now our what our parents were doing, we were not ready. But now whatever they are wishing, the same thing we are also wishing. Now our will is going to be successful. Our promises that is going to be completed. Our dreams are going to be fulfilled. So why are you silent? Why are you not speaking? Friends consent, indeed. It seems that she is not happy. Even and all the parents agreed to their marriage proposal. But it seems that she is not happy. She is reacted inside. Absolute. Come, come, we must lay aside some of our romance. A little wealth and comfort may be endured after all. And for all your future, the lawyer shall make such settlements as. Lawyers? I hate lawyers. Actually, the parents are thinking that as they are going to marry each other, the property will also come to their hands. No. Lydia is the only daughter, only niece under the guardianship of Mrs. Malapro. So that's why she owes so much property, and after marriage, this property will come into the hands of Sir Anthony or his son, Captain Absolute. So now father is engaged in searching good lawyers. But what about lawyers? She is surprised because the time is not going to come as the lawyers will be required. She is not ready to accept him because this marriage is not going to be solemnized. So that's why the handling of property is not required. So therefore there is no need of lawyers. She is not ready, no? Nay, then we will not wait for their lingering forms, but instantly procure the license. The license? I hate license. She is surprised, no? Because she is not ready to accept this relation. And if she doesn't accept this relation, there is no transfer of property, there is no need of lawyers, there is no need of license. Oh, my love, be not so unkind. Thus, let me entreat. So, Absolute is entreating now. Be ready. Accept this proposal. So, what signifies kneeling when you know I must have you? She is shocked that now he is entreating, requesting to be the wife of him. She is not ready to accept him as husband. Now he is rising. Nay, madam, there shall be no constraint upon your inclinations, I promise you. If I have lost your heart, I resign the rest. Gad, I must try what a little a spirit will do. He wanted to love and marry her. That's why he is requesting. But the lady is not ready. Lydia is not ready. Lydia rising. Then, sir, let me tell you, the interest you had there was acquired by a mean, unmanly imposition and deserves the punishment of fraud. This is not only deceit but a fraud. That you wanted to occupy my property. You don't love me actually, sincerely. Just you wanted to occupy my property. That's why you played a drama before me. No? So Lydia is very angry that this is not love. Actually, this is a fraud. And you should not be allowed to marry. You should be sent to jail. What you have been treating me like a child. She is surprised. She is completely shocked that she has been diverted in different ways. Just like a child, he was playing with her. He was not sincerely loving her. Humoring my romance and laughing, I suppose, at your success. You were successful, that you were loving a lady who owes so much property. You wrong me, Lydia. You wrong me. Only here. Now he wanted to clarify the situation that his intention was not to hurt her. His intention was not a bad intention. His intentions were only to love and marry her. Anyway, at any cost, he wanted to love her and marry with her. So that's why he wanted to explain it before Lydia, but she is not ready to listen any argument before her. Lydia, so while I fondly imagined we were deceiving my relations and flattered myself that I should outwit and incense them all, behold, my hopes are to be crushed at once by my aunt's consent and approbation, and I am myself the only dupe as last. But here, sir, here is a picture, Beverly's picture. Now she takes his own picture, but she thinks that she loves Beverly only. At that extent, at that time, when you were Beverly, I loved you. But now you are not my Beverly, that's why I don't love you. Still, I love my Beverly. And Beverly is quite different from your character. He is still a good person, good man. You are a different person, which I have warned night and day in spite of threats and entreaties. There, sir, and be assured I throw the original from my heart as easily. So she is not ready to accept him as her husband. Still she loves her Beverly, and Beverly was her romantic hero, and she still enjoyed that she loved that romantic hero Beverly. She is not ready to accept him. Nah, madam, we will not differ as to that. Here is Miss Lydia Languis. What a difference! You are same. Before this day, you were Lydia Languis. Today you are Lydia Languis. So there is no difference. Yeah, there is the heavenly assenting smile that first gave soul and a spirit to my hopes. Those are the lips which sealed a vow, as yet scarce dry in Cupid's calendar, and there the half resentful blush that would have checked the ardor of my thanks. Well, that's past, all over indeed. There, madam, in beauty, that copy is not equal to you, but in my mind its merit over the original, in weighing still the same, is such that I cannot find in my heart to part with it. So he is trying his best to convince his beloved Lydia Languis, but she seems adamant. She is not ready to move. It means change her idea. Lydia, it is your own doing, sir. I suppose you are perfectly satisfied. What about that? You wanted to occupy me, and now you are going to be successful. With the occupation of my life, you will also occupy my property. And I think this was your intention, sole intention. So now you should be happy, satisfied. Absolute. Oh, most certainly sure. Now this is much better than being in love. Huh. There is some spirit in this. What signifies breaking some scores of solemn promises? All that's of no consequence. You know, to be sure, people will say that Miss didn't know her own mind, but never mind that, and perhaps they may be ill natured enough to hint that the gentleman grew tired of the lady and forsook her. But don't let that fret you. He is convincing that if he will not marry her, the people will talk about them, that he deceived her actually. And because he is talking about his innocence, that he never wanted to deceive her. So that's why he is convincing, trying his best, so that she may be ready to accept him. Lydia, there is no bearing his insolence. So now she burst into tears. She starts weeping because her dreams has been completely shattered. She is not only angry, she is also very disappointed that a person has misused my emotions. Someone has played trick with my emotion. No? So at last they were not reconciled. What the parents are waiting? The parents are waiting that they should be reconciled and they should be happy, as they have expected that they might have embraced each other. But the fact is that even they were not ready to touch them, no, to touch each other. Now it is quite clear that he will be rejected now. As Lydia has rejected so many rivals in her life, so many competitors, that they eagerly, earnestly wanted to love and marry her, but she was not ready and rejected summarily all the competitors. In the same way, she is ready to she is ready to reject her own lover, Beverly, because he was found to be none but Captain Absolute. So that's why he is rejected here. The parents still appear here. Mrs. Malapur, come, we must interrupt your billing and cooing for a while. She is sorry that she might be disturbing the young couple, but she is not disturbing actually. because they are not engaged to each other. Rather, they are angry with each other. This is worse than your treachery and deceit, you base ingrate. Now she is sobbing. Sobbing means she is weeping, she is crying, shedding tears out of her eyes. Sir Anthony, what the devil's the matter now? Jones, Mrs. Malaprop, this is the oddest billing and cooing I ever heard. But what the deuce is the meaning of it? I'm quite astonished that they expected that they might be very happy. And in the absence of the parents, they might be in the arms of each other. But the condition is that they are quite distanced from each other. They are even not sitting there nearby them. So that's why father is surprised that what is the reason now why they are angry, why they are disappointed, what happened to them next, now what the problem came into their life. Ask the lady. Even the son is not in a position to reply, so he suggested that ask the lady why she is weeping, why she is crying. Oh mercy, Mrs. Malaprop says, I am quite analyzed for my part. Why, Lydia, what is the reason of this? Ask the gentleman, ma'am. Both are disappointed. Nobody is in a position to speak first. When the lady is asked, she suggests that he should be asked. When boy is asked, he suggests that lady should be asked. That what is the problem? Jones, I shall be in a frenzy. Why, Jack, you are not come out to be any one else, are you? Anthony, again he is very angry that he might have played some trick against this little girl, soft girl. So he might be the criminal who has deceived her, or done something else that she was hurt. Mrs. Malaprop, yes, sir, there is no more trick, is there? Are you not the Carverus? Three gentlemen at once, are you? Mrs. Malaprop was quite astonished. She thinks that there might be any trick. Again, he might be doing some sort of trick. Why they are not happy now? As per their wishes, they were allowed to marry each other. Again, they are not happy. You will not let me speak. I say the lady can account for this much better than I can. It means Lydia can explain better that what is the reason why she is not happy. Ma'am, Lydia speaks. Ma'am, you once commanded me never to think of Beverly again. There is the man, I now obey you. For from this moment I renounce him forever. Now she says finally that as my parent, as my guardian, you always hated my Beverly. You never wanted me to love and marry him. But now myself, I am ready to forsake, renounce Beverly forever. I will not marry him, even I will not talk to him. I will have no relation with him in the future also. So in that way, she denies everything that was intended to be done. So now Lydia leaves the place, clarifying that she never will accept him as her husband, and she never will forget him for his deceitful manner. Mrs. Malapur, oh mercy and miracles, what a turn here is. Why, your captain, you haven't behaved disrespectfully to my niece. Now Malaprop thinks that Captain Absolute might have misbehaved with her niece. So that's why she is weeping, she is crying. So what is the problem? Sir Anthony is also supporting her. Ha ha ha. Now I see it. Ha ha ha. Because he doesn't know that what is the position is there. Now I see it. You have been too lively, Jack. Nay, sir, upon my word. He thinks that again he is making fun. But the fact is that it is not a fun. This is very a serious matter, that his son has been rejected by the lady, Lydia Languis. She is not ready to accept him as her husband. Come, no lying, Jack. I am sure it was. He thinks that still he is doing some sort of prank. है ना? Absolute, upon my soul, ma'am. He is not ready to describe it. Sir Anthony. Come, no excuses, Jack. Why your father, you rogue? was so before you. The blood of the absolutes was always impatient. Ha ha ha, poor little Lydia, why you have frightened her? You dog, you have. He thinks he might have done some prank over her. So that's why she is angry or she is weeping. Jones, say no more. I told you, Mrs. Malaprop shall make your peace. You must make this peace, Mrs. Malaprop. You must tell her it is Jack's way. Tell her it's all our ways. It runs in the blood of our family. Come away, Jack. Ha ha ha, Mrs. Malaprop, a young villain. So he pushes him out. What is the meaning? The meaning is quite clear. He thinks that he might be making some prank over her. He might be terrifying her, her future wife, Lydia Languis. But it is not the fact. Actually, it is quite clear that he has been rejected by his own lover, Lydia Languis. He is not ready to accept him as her husband, and he is not making any fun. It is not a, he is not mocking at her. Actually, the serious matter is there. He has been denied. He has been rejected by his lover, Lydia Languis. So at last, he is not in a position to understand the matter, that what is the matter is there. Matter is very serious, that the girl is not ready to make him her husband. Mrs. Malaprop, oh Sir Anthony, oh Phi Captain. But now Mrs. Malaprop, she understands something, that there must be some serious matter, that because he was weeping, he might have done something rude or misbehaved with her, my daughter. So there must be a problem. But Father, Sir Anthony is not in a position to understand the matter. He thinks that he might be making some sort of prank. He might be making some fun, but it is not fun. No, now it completes.